There's a phrase that Hasidim say, Dorten, wo Edelkeit is nicht kan Kli, Grubkeit is nicht kan Stira, which means those levels of the divine, of the godly light, where Edelkeit, where being refined, where bettering yourself, where improving yourself, where becoming great, is not a vessel, those levels of the divine that transcend no matter how much you try to better yourself and make yourself holier and holier, those levels of divine light that you still can't be a vessel ever, that no human being could be a vessel for, those infinite levels of God that any human being that ever lived until Mashiach can't be a vessel for, those levels, Grubkeit is Nishkan Stira. Then the most despicable, unrefined, impure, dark places don't contradict that level. In other words, infinity, those most essential infinite aspects of God himself, no human being could contain, no vessel at all, no angel could contain. And therefore, dafka, that level is everywhere exactly the same. And that's the secret that Reb Aaron Karliner said, that Keshem Shakadosh Baruch Hu Lakol, Kach Reb Shimon Lakol. Just like God is Lakol for everyone equally accesses God. Ata Shemea Tfilos Kol Peh, God hears the prayers of all mouths, all humans, all animals, all vegetative things. Just like God is for everything, for everyone, all levels of Jews, those greatest tzaddikim, whether it's Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, the Baal Shem Tov, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, the Baba Sali, Mashiach, all those levels, those Jews at that highest level are lakol. All Jews, religious or not religious, everyone loves them equally. All human beings see their holiness because they partake of that infinite level of God that nothing could contain, and hence that aspect of God which is absolutely everywhere. And therefore, that level of God that no tzaddik could become a vessel for, and no rasha, no wicked person could contradict or conceal, at that level of God, all we could all do together is submit and humbly acknowledge. Hod shebahod. That's a level of God. Hod shebahod means that level of God which all reality, angels, everything could just bow down and submit oneself to. Nobody could capture it, and therefore nobody could conceal it. Hod shebahod, utter giving oneself over and acknowledging. And that's the secret that the Alter Rebbe explains, what Chazal say, Mandale kar b'modim naset shidrasei nachash, the one that doesn't bow down at modim, his spinal cord becomes a snake, which means, what does it mean, one that doesn't bow down at modim? It means that the most basic thing that you do that make that your spinal cord shouldn't be a snake, that you should be somehow shaychus to Kedusha, is acknowledge that God is greater. I don't know anything about God. You just acknowledge that God is greater. It's like, for me, for instance, like they say Einstein was a great scientist, but for me, like my 6th grade science teacher knows a lot more science than I do. So for me, like I don't understand Einstein's greatness, because I don't even understand the 6th grade science teacher's greatness. But I acknowledge that everyone just says he's beyond. That's how we are with God. None of us have any conception of what God is. And therefore all humanity, all levels, all angels, we just bow down. We just bow down. That's all we could do. Hod shebahod, just bowing down. And that's the secret of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai when he passed away today, Lag BaOmer. The last sentence he said, the Zohar teaches, is Bechad ketiras katarna, beilahita, beirahita, beilahotis. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai said, I was bound to God with a single bond. I ran after him. I was burned up after him. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai didn't fluctuate. He was always with one bond. Bechad ketiras katarna. I had one bond with God. It would never move. It never changed. So seemingly that's a huge level. It is, but it's a level we could all come to. Because if you tap into Hod shebahod, that secret of having a perception, the fact that God is so infinitely beyond, we never have to change as long as we're always acknowledging and bowing down to Hashem's awesomeness and Hashem's greatness. Just bow down. Just give ourselves over. Hod shebahod. No matter what level you are, no matter who you are, just bow down. Humbly acknowledge, give oneself over to God, that never has to change. And that level nothing could ever conceal, because that level no one could ever attain, because it's just God's infinity, which is everywhere the same.